Have you invested thousands of dollars into user-generated content or working with influencers, but couldn't crack the right formula to produce a winning ad that converts, that generates profit? Well, it's not your fault. The way to produce long-lasting content that can get you sales, that can get you results, comes from the very beginning of conducting market research and also the process of actually getting the content creator to shoot content for you. Most founders and most brands just invest into content and never reutilize that content ever again for that following quarter. So a lot of brands are wasting tons of dollars, tons of money without producing any results. Whereas when you are very much more methodical with the approach and you follow the systems I'm going to share with you, you have the framework, you have the systems to produce up to 90 testable ads in a given month. And with the frameworks I'm about to share with you guys today, you can produce these content and produce these types of creatives multiple times during the year. And you can have these run throughout any season. So you have this evergreen creative that can be redistributed or relaunched any time of the year. Doesn't matter if it's Black Friday, Christmas, Halloween, doesn't matter, any holidays, right? You have the system and you have all the resources to take your ad account to the next level. So with that being said, let's dive into the specifics on how to create the everlasting ad without spending thousands of dollars on influencers. So here we have the organization or the formula when it comes to the high level of creatives. Now, it's very important that we discuss the high level objectives, because if we don't have organization or if we don't understand what we're doing on the creative front, as a byproduct, we have no idea what's being tested on the paid media front, and we have no structure or no expansion to build off what we just tested. We want to minimize the amount of wasted costs within our business by doing pointless tests, right? Every single dollar amount we spend on paid media has to have a hypothesis behind it, and ultimately we want to place it for specific parts within the funnel of what we're testing, right? Because if the sales funnel is congruent of you have your creatives, you have your landing pages, you have your offers, and you have that post-click experience, now our focus would be, okay, if it's a creative issue, well, we need to expand on angles and make better creatives. If it's a conversion issue where we're driving people to the site but they're not converting profitably, well, then that's where our focus shifts. Or even if it's an average order value issue and we need to fix the offer to make it more compelling to get a higher average order value, that's where our focus lies. So every single part within the sales funnel has its point within the process, and our job as marketers is to consistently run tests to improve the full performance of said campaign. Now, how do we do this? Most brands struggle because they're not producing either enough content to increase their amount of daily ad spend in a given period, or they don't have any organization and they're just throwing random stuff at the wall hoping it sticks. So I've consulted and I've managed north of $1 million a month in ad spend, and every single problem I've noticed across the board, brand to brand, comes down to the creatives. Majority of brands have the creative issue because there's not a dedicated system in place to pump out different variations, or there's not a system in place that can organize different concepts or organize these umbrellas of tests. So now with this formula right here, this is the proven method to allow you to produce up to 90 testable ads in a given month. It all starts with market research. Now there's a ton of software, there's a ton of tech that can allow you to look at competitors in the space. You have stuff like foreplay.co, Meta Ads Library, Reddit forums, customer reviews, Amazon competitors, existing customer reviews from site. We want to make sure that we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. If there's pain points from our competitors and we can run different angles, proving that our product's far more superior, then I want to test that without reinventing the wheel and starting from scratch. From there, I want to segment my angles. What I covered here, what is defined as an angle? Well, an angle, if I were to define it in this context, is this is what we're utilizing to hit our ideal customer profile. Now, how do we do this? Well, we need congruent copy of what our customer says. This is why we want to look at reviews. We want to look at forums, so on and so forth. We want to see what keywords, what slang we can incorporate into our specific angle or what creative we're testing. From there, now it expands into concepts. So we have an idea of, okay, let's, for example, the angle is buy this for your family this holiday season. Now let's say the concept, how are we going to apply that angle into a specific creative? Well, let's say We want to run user-generated content. Now, when it comes to producing UGC, it all comes down to the way your actual raw footage is produced. Because, for example, let's say you have your content creator. You're working with a content creator, maybe you found them on Twitter or you found them on Instagram, and you get that individual to shoot 8 total clips, right? And the thing is, it's clip by clip by clip. Now, you can take those 8 clips and produce one unique video. But the great thing is when the influencer shot those concepts or shot that specific concept, they shot it scene by scene by scene. So now what your editor can do in post-production is create variations of your B-roll footage. So now you can take a 40-second clip, condense it to now a 35-second clip or a 30-second clip. Or you can take a 30-second clip and now condense it even further. So now you can make variations by playing with the time length of said concept being tested. You can expand even further. Now you can split test the first 2 to 3 seconds of a video within the hook, just by getting your content creator to shoot 2 different variations of a hook and as those individual clips. So that's kind of the important thing is we have our concepts, we have an idea of what we're going to put our angle to the test with. And then from there, when it comes from a paid media perspective, we want at least 2 variations for one single concept production. So you're going to have your OG concept, and then we want at least 2 variations where it might be a spin on the hook or a change in the copy or some different variation, but we want to have 2 variations per concept tested. So now what happens is we do a ton of market research. We are working with AI tech to organize what angles can we test. We built the angles, we built the concepts, we built the variations behind these. So now we're running these in a controlled environment from a paid media strategy. And let's say concept number 1 was a UGC video following the gifting bundle angle, and that didn't work, but a static image did work. Now we can expand on this further by either creating more variations of this specific concept by changing the copy or changing the call to action or changing the offer, or we can just say, okay, this has worked. Now let's create different concepts to now fill the rest of the funnel, because this might be driving bottom of the funnel / middle of the funnel customers, but we might need a concept that's more top of funnel focused. So now your focus shifts from testing different media buying strategies to actually moving the needle for your business by making better creatives that can grow your funnel from top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of the funnel. And we determine this by, in a broad CBO environment, our winning DCT needs at least 40% of the CBO budget to be deemed a winner. Now we can take this a step further. In a UGC video, right, you're gonna typically have a hook, a problem, a failed solution, an introduction of the product, features, unique selling points, demonstration, benefits, desired end result, and then call to action. Right? These clips can be 2 to 3 seconds long, and realistically, you're looking at a 30 to 45-second video here that can be ran across Meta, even TikTok, if there's a scene change every 2 or 3 seconds. But this is the framework that allows you to expand on variations. So in a UGC video, as I covered, you could have a hook, problem, failed solution, and then all of these. And then now you want to create a variation, you can have a hook, problem, failed solution, and then just a call to action, or hook, problem, introduction of the product, call to action. It's very important that the content creator you work with shoots each B-roll footage scene by scene by scene to allow you to do this in post-production. But over time, what happens is we're making more iterations to our bottom line. We're testing, we're more specific with our creatives. We have data, we have an idea of what's been known to work. And then from there, it's just you're reinvesting and just redistributing the flywheel to crease or to build either a top of funnel creative, a middle funnel creative, or bottom of the funnel creative, depending on what you need to fill the funnel to be profitable. So this is the exact framework I want you guys to replicate. Take this to your company, copy and paste it, implement it as soon as possible. If you have a creative problem and you want to increase the amount of production in less than 90 days. But with that being said, with this resource here, feel free to check it out and feel free to implement it. If there's any questions, let me know. But if you want to expedite this process wholeheartedly and skip the phase of you struggling and testing this out for yourself, feel free to book a call down below on my calendar, or you'll speak directly with me, and I'll walk you through our process and our protocol that we've used across the board for dozens of clients, like Karma Luck, like Retail Nutrition, like Global Healing like Brexley Band, so on and so forth, and even brands like Yee Apparel, just to name a few, on how we've been able to help them integrate fully in-house with complete capital efficiency without relying on any ad agencies. So with that being said, if you want the protocol implemented into your company so that you can build in-house without relying on any ad agencies to exit your company, feel free to book in a call down below. With that being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.